to Hockey Talkie. Today, Stan Bowman put in some work as the Chicago Blackhawks re-signed two of its pending restricted free agents, signing both John Hayden and Vinnie Hinostroza to 2-year extensions. Now, unlike the Martinson and Jokiharju signings, we actually got the salary details right away with these two signings, which is something that I wish would just be automatic. And I think is going to be a topic I'm going to cover in one of my One Take Wednesday videos that I'll do in the near future here, so stay tuned for that. But the John Hayden news broke basically right away this morning. He got a 2-year extension of $750,000 per year, and quite frankly, if he continues on the path that he's currently on in terms of rate of growth, this is going to be an absolute steal for the Hawks. Now, if you remember, Hayden was part of that fourth line in the beginning of last season with Boma and Wingels, a fourth line that actually played really well, and you could consider one of our best lines for that first half last year, which actually says a lot about the lack of production of our top lines. But nonetheless, the fourth line played really well, Hayden included. The reason why he got sent down to Rockford midway through the season was not because he played poorly, mostly because the Blackhawks expect more out of his development. They want him to develop into a middle six, maybe even top six player. And sending him down to Rockford to get more minutes, get more top line minutes, maybe even become a little bit of a leader as well, that's really why he was sent down. So now he gets re-signed 2 years, $750,000, which I think is a steal. It's going to be very exciting to see how he grows these next 2 years and how he can do in a full season up with the Blackhawks. Then later in the day, we got news that Vinnie Hinostroza re-signed, this one being 2 years, $1.5 million per year. At first, that kind of seems like a little bit of a high number, especially for a guy who started in Rockford for the first 30 games of last season. But he absolutely tore up the AHL, and then after getting called up to the Hawks, 25 points in 50 games. And with that in mind, especially with how good he looked, I think $1.5 million is a pretty solid number for both parties. It should also be noted that both these players, at the conclusion of these 2-year extensions, will still be restricted free agents, so that's kind of nice. Now, with those two guys signed, the Blackhawks only have 3 pending restricted free agents remaining. Thomas Jurko, Anthony Duclair, and Adam Clendening. Clendening, if we resign him, he's an AHLer, probably will get the same size contract as his previous one, which would be $650,000. Thomas Jurko, it seems like we're close to re-signing. At least that's what reports say. We'll see what happens. He'll probably be right around $1 million if we re-sign him. And then Anthony Duclair is a little bit more interesting because he's a little bit higher class restricted free agent, which kind of brings into play possible offer sheets and compensation for that, second, third round picks if we decide to not re-sign him. But I think the Blackhawks want to re-sign him. It seems like Anthony wants to stay as well. We'll see kind of what he requires in terms of contract, salary, and term. But there's still a lot of off-season left, so don't freak out if we don't get all these guys signed right away. We still have a week until the draft, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing a live stream during that first round Friday night, so stay tuned for that. I'd love to see you guys there. And then, in addition to that, there's still a little over 2 weeks left until the start of free agency. And just because we don't re-sign these RFAs before free agency doesn't mean we lose them. There's, if another team goes for them in free agency, well, we can still match that offer. And if we decide not to, we'll get compensation for it. There's a lot of off-season left. That's what I'm trying to say is just don't freak out. Let's just let things kind of go. Let's let Stan and the front office do their thing. But pretty darn good start so far with signing Hayden and Hinostroza today, and then the signings we've had in the recent past. But we're just getting started. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these signings and the road ahead in this offseason. Like, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. I always appreciate that. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.